have picked it up. There's Jim's hang tag right there. Yeah. 10,000 already purchased, about 2,000 available. We even have a buy more, save more on our little fella here so that you can give them as gifts. And I told you, my granddaughter is 2. This would be the first Christmas where she has any clue whatsoever what the heck is going on. Last year it was scary bright lights and why did they bring a tree into the house, right? This year she's starting to get it. I can't wait to start her on a collection of your Christmas ornaments.
Well, you know, I've got 6 kids and I've got 12 grandkids.
That's beautiful.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, they go through this phase where the packaging and the wrapping is more entertaining than the, than the gift. You know, but listen, now this piece is a special piece. You know, you mentioned the fact it's got my signature on the bottom.
It is the only signed piece in the show.
Yes, exactly.
And it's less than $15.
Yeah, and I don't do that very often, so that makes it kind of a special piece. The fact that it is a continuation, you know, a continuing program for QVC makes it kind of special here. And also, you might notice there's a crystal right up there.
Right in the
and,
middle of the
and
star.
that crystal is not just a crystal, but it's one of those crystals from that famous crystal.
The Crystal People.
Play, the Crystal People.
The good ones.
The Crystal People. We do that. We've done that on these pieces, these special pieces, because this is an anniversary year.
Oh, that's right.
So the pieces that
this is the 15th year for Heartwood Creek.
Exactly. So
I hadn't even thought about that.
So this is special in a lot of different ways. It's special in that it's exclusive here. You know, it's done for QVC, and you know, as an ongoing project, which you know we've done. This is the 4th one.
Next year, Dominique. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me tell you, by the way, already a quarter of our entire inventory of what we had left is gone. So 10,000 pieces sold back in Christmas in July.
Yeah.
We brought in, it was 2,196 was the number I had before I went on the air. A little less than 2,200. Over 500 spoken for at this particular point. People buy more of them and it actually saves you $3 additional. This Santa's face is different than any Santa you've ever done, and I can still tell it's your work. And if you look, that is such a wonderful addition. That is your love for quilting.
Well, not only that, but you know, it's got my sort of signature purple. I don't know whether you've noticed or not, but I'm fond
Listen,
of
I'm
purple.
colorblind and I know what color that shirt is you're wearing.
Well,
a little fond of purple.
There's an interesting story about that, you know, which I've told many times, you know, about my love for purple, and it's sort of a tribute to my grandmother that had a huge influence. So I do a touch of purple in just about everything.
Including one of the 12 Christmas trees that Jim does in his home every year. Yeah. There's a purple Christmas tree.
Yeah, my wife Jan, as folks that are familiar with my story, you know, they know that Jan, my lovely bride, is an absolute force of nature when it comes to decorating.
That's a very good way to put it.
And in the house, if it doesn't move, it gets decorated. That's one reason why I stay so active, you know. So.
He also,
no napping for me.
Can I show you, in his man cave, in your study, he has a fishing lure Christmas tree.
I know.
That I'm blatantly stealing that idea. Half of the quantity for this is gone.
Yeah.
Now, once this quantity is gone, and I've got to confirm, is that it for the year? Can we get any more back in?
Well, that's it for the year.
Okay.
And you know, the thing about it is people will have been coming back who have started these collections and wondering, where can I get the first one and the second one and third one? Well, if you get this one, you don't have to worry about it, you know.
Okay.
And it's this is probably one of the more special that'll be in the collection because of the fact that it is, you know, a celebration piece, and with the, you know, there's these add-ons that gives it a little bit of special dimension. But you know, and once again, you know, the pricing is not my part of the business, right? But it's priced such that, you know, you could get this a perfect gift, a perfect stocking stuffer, you know, something that you can, you know, we get these kind of pieces here at my home. Okay. And we use them as place settings in our parties.
For the tables, yep, I agree.
And then that gives the folks a little something to take home with them to remember the event.
These are the pieces we'll need even more 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
Yeah.
And if you want to be able to pick up those pieces that are gone. Then you reach out to the secondary market, and this is the best time to do it.
Yeah, me too.
$14.98. Every single item on the show today is on 4 easy pay payments. That's a $3.75 payment, and it's yours. And this is, again, the dated piece for 2017.
Yeah, and then there'll be 2018 on the way and 2019.
Are you already starting working on that?
You know,
I know you work so many months out in advance.
I work almost a year in advance from when you see things on the shelf.
Well, it takes that long because every one of these is hand painted. Every one of them is hand done.
It's a process in order to ensure not only the quality but the consistency, so that each piece that is produced by my artisans is as close to the original as possible.
Yep.
And I don't take that lightly. I am on top of the QC part of it, the quality control part of it, all the time. You know,
It shows.
I'm constantly reviewing things to make sure that the painting is correct and the casting is correct, and that, you know, that all of it, because it's hand painted. I mean, think about that. Each and every one of these pieces is handmade. It's hand cast. It's hand.
I don't know how you do it.
What we call fettled, which is the cleanup of the casting, the etching, the paint, the processes that goes even just in the painting. You know, it's not just a matter of painting something red.
And it's got to be the right red.
Well, yeah, and not only that, but it's glazed. It's what they call scumbled, which is
Scumbled.
which is a painting
There's a word
process.
I don't use often enough.
Yeah. Oh, we use it all the time.
I gotta. Most of my shows are scumbled.
Yeah, we use it at dinner. You know, but it's what I'm saying is the process is a layering process, so that we build up these colors, so that you've got some interest. You know, it's an artistic endeavor. From start to finish, and that's the way we approach it, and that's the way it is.
Jim, I've got to tell you, we have less than 100 pieces left. 10,000 pieces were bought during Christmas in July. We brought in about 2,100, and that's it for the edition. That's it for the year. There's 100 of you out there at 6:32 a.m. East Coast time who can enjoy it. Take advantage of that. That will indeed sell out this morning.
That, above all, is a piece to have.
I agree. Coming up, my pick of the show. And they're just adorable in every way, brand new. We have 3 of them on the shelf, and each 3 of these are different from one another. Wait till you see them. We'll show them to you up close in just a little bit. Are you allowed to have favorites?
Well, you know, the favorites is a moving target. You know?
I fell in love with this piece when you first introduced it. I was blessed to be the host that sat next to you when we offered this for the first time, and this blew out.
Yeah.
This is part of the Woodland collection, but this is different. This is softer, wintry tones. You're known for some of those pops of color. There's a serenity in this. There are 8 individual pieces, and I will challenge you to find all the detail in all of those 8 pieces in one sitting, because this is the Nativity told as a complete story. Your 3 wise men alone, I think, would be worth the price. Flat out, it is the most expensive piece in the show, but this will be a prized possession in my wife's and my home for the rest of our lives. These 8 pieces tell the story of the birth of Jesus in a way that only Jim Shore could tell it.
Well,
this is gorgeous.
Dan, you know, that doing the Nativity is probably, if I were restricted to doing just one theme, it would be doing the Nativity. I've done it in so many different ways.
But it's got to be the most difficult task.
Well, it is.
And you have the harshest critics.
Well, that's...
If you screw up a snowman, nobody gets upset.
Right. Yeah, and the story has to be told, and it's got to be told in such a way that the passion of the story is there.
Yep.
You know.
Yes.
And when I do these pieces, see, I do at least one, usually several, you know, versions of the story every year. You saw the stacked version, and you've seen the other versions